Philippine tennis is on the verge of a genuinely historic moment. Alex Eala, the 20-year-old superstar who has already shattered every record in her nation's tennis history, is preparing to step onto the most significant stage of her career. Two major tournaments, two opportunities to prove she isn't just good, she's unstoppable. What unfolds over the next 2 weeks could reshape the future of Asian tennis forever. The Guangzhou Open and the Hong Kong Tennis Open are not merely stops on her schedule. They are the proving grounds where legends cement their status, where champions are crowned, and where Alex is about to show the entire tennis world why she has been a player to watch all year. Let's talk about who Alex Eala truly is. This isn't just another tennis player trying to make her mark. This is a once-in-a-generation athlete who has been destined for greatness since her teenage years. At just 20 years old, Alex has already soared to a career-high ranking of world number 54, making her the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history. No one from the Philippines has ever reached these heights. She trained at the legendary Rafael Nadal Academy in Spain, learning from the same coaches who shaped one of the sport's greatest champions. The academy in Manacor, Mallorca, is more than a training facility. It is a forge where champions are made. It is where Rafa Nadal himself developed the work ethic, mental fortitude, and relentless competitive spirit that earned him 22 Grand Slam titles. That is the environment Alex chose to hone her game. Immersed in excellence every day, she is a former junior Grand Slam champion, having dominated at the US Open and French Open at the junior level. In 2022, she clinched the US Open girls singles title, becoming the first Filipino player ever to claim a junior major championship. But here is what truly sets her apart. She didn't rest on her junior success. She took that hunger, that competitive fire, and brought it to the professional tour, where true legends are built. This year has been a breakthrough for Alex, the kind of year that transforms careers and rewrites history books. Earlier in 2025, she reached the final of the Eastbourne International, going toe-to-toe with some of the biggest names in women's tennis. That was no fluke. She dominated matches against players ranked far above her, displaying the complete game that makes coaches and analysts take notice. At every tournament she entered, opponents knew they were in for a battle. Her aggressive baseline play, incredible court coverage, and mental toughness when matches got tight, everything clicked into place. Her run in Eastbourne wasn't luck. It was a statement. It showed the tennis world that Alex isn't just the future of Philippine tennis. She is the future of Asian tennis as a whole. Her ranking skyrocketed to number 54, putting her within striking distance of the top 50. Do you understand how significant that is? No Filipino player, male or female, has ever broken into the top 50 in the entire history of professional tennis. Alex is right there, knocking on the door, ready to break it down. But there's more to her 2025 story that proves she is the real deal. At the Miami Open, she received a wildcard entry and absolutely stunned the tennis world. She defeated Jelena Ostapenko, a former Grand Slam champion. Then she beat Madison Keys, another major champion and top player. And then, in what can only be described as one of the biggest upsets of the year, she took down Iga Swiatek, the world number 1 and multiple Grand Slam winner. 3 major champions, defeated in straight sets at a single tournament. Alex became the first wildcard in WTA history to accomplish that feat. She reached the semifinals before finally falling to Jessica Pegula, but by then, she had already proven everything she needed to prove. On March 31, 2025, she officially broke into the WTA Top 100 for the first time, becoming the first Filipino player ever to achieve that milestone. The celebrations back in the Philippines were immense. She wasn't just making history, she was inspiring an entire nation. Her Grand Slam debut was equally impressive. At Wimbledon, she faced Barbara Krejcikova, a former Grand Slam champion, showing no fear on the sport's biggest stages. Then, at the US Open, she became the first Filipino player to win a main draw match at a major in the Open era, defeating Clara Towson in the first round. Every time Alex steps onto the court at these prestigious events, she isn't just playing for herself. She is carrying the dreams of millions of Filipinos who never before had a star to rally behind in professional tennis. and she is handling that pressure with grace, maturity, and an unshakable belief in her abilities. She also captured her first WTA 125 title at the Guadalajara Open, defeating Pana Udvardi in the final as the second seed. That victory made her the first Filipino to ever win a WTA 125 tournament, adding another historic achievement to her already remarkable resume. Now, here is the truth about champions. They don't have perfect seasons. They face setbacks. They endure tough losses, and that is precisely what makes their comeback so powerful. Alex recently had a couple of matches that didn't go her way. The Japan Open saw her fall to a young Czech qualifier, Teresa Valentova. And before that, the tournament in Wuhan didn't yield the results she wanted. But you know what separates the stars from everyone else? Stars use losses as fuel. They don't crumble. They rebuild. They don't make excuses. They make adjustments. Every legendary athlete you can name has faced moments like these. Serena Williams had stretches where nothing worked. Naomi Osaka went through periods of doubt. Even Rafael Nadal, Alex's mentor and inspiration, has had seasons where injuries and losses piled up. But they all came back stronger, hungrier, and more focused than ever. That is exactly what Alex is poised to do. The timing couldn't be more perfect. She has had time to analyze what went wrong, work with her coaches, make the necessary adjustments, and now she is ready to unleash her best tennis when it matters most. Because now, Alex heads into the Guangzhou Open not as an underdog or a hopeful participant, but as the fifth seed. Let that sink in. The tournament organizers looked at the entire field and determined that Alex Eala is one of the 5 best players here. That is respect. That is recognition. It is confirmation that, despite a couple of recent losses, the tennis world knows exactly how dangerous she can be. The Guangzhou Open, running from October 20th to 26th, is Alex's chance to remind everyone why she has been breaking records all year. Being seeded 5th grants her a more favorable draw, facing lower-ranked opponents in the early rounds. This is the perfect setup for her to build momentum, stack up wins, and send her confidence soaring once again. The competition includes players like Lucia Bronzetti and Tatjana Maria, solid, experienced professionals who have been on the tour for years. But no one else in that draw possesses the same combination of youth, hunger, and raw talent that Alex brings. This tournament is hers for the taking. She has the game, the fitness, and the mental strength to dominate from the first round to the final. But Guangzhou is just the warm-up. What comes next is where legends are born, where stars become superstars. The Hong Kong Tennis Open, from October 27th to November 2nd, is Alex's 2025 season finale, and the player field is absolutely stacked with some of the biggest names in women's tennis. We're talking about Naomi Osaka, the 4-time Grand Slam champion and global superstar. Emma Raducanu, the U.S. Open champion who became a household name overnight. Leylah Fernandez, another young star who has been making waves with her aggressive and fearless style. And Maya Joint, the player who beat Alex in that Eastbourne final earlier this year. This isn't just a tournament, it's a showcase of the very best in women's tennis, and Alex Eala has earned her place among these giants. She isn't there to make up the numbers or gain experience. She is there to compete, to win, and to show the world that she belongs in every conversation about the next generation of tennis superstars. Hong Kong is going to be electric, and Alex is ready to shine. Here is what people need to understand about Alex that doesn't always make the headlines. Her mental game is elite. It's the kind of fortitude that can't be taught in a few training sessions. After that Japan Open loss, she didn't hide from the media, make excuses, or blame the conditions. She faced the cameras and stated she simply couldn't find the solutions that day. That is the honesty and self-awareness champions possess. She knows when things aren't working, which means she knows how to fix them. Her training at the Nadal Academy wasn't just about forehands and backhands. It was about building the mindset of a warrior, someone who never gives up, no matter how tough the situation becomes. Rafael Nadal is famous for his mental strength, for winning matches even when he's not at his best, for finding a way to win when all seems lost. That is the DNA that has been instilled in Alex through years in that environment. She has been coached by world-class trainers who have seen every possible situation, every type of opponent, and every kind of pressure moment. They have prepared her for exactly these moments, when the spotlight is brightest and the stakes are at their peak. Alex isn't going to fold under the pressure. She is going to rise to it.